Hi there, it's Tom again, and it's been a while, but that's okay. I don't really do this for a living. So September is National Preparedness Month, and today I'm just going to go over a little bit of things you can do to make your everyday life a little bit safer. Well, I may not be exactly what you think of in terms of a prepper. My background does lead towards being able to handle oneself in an emergency. I don't mean like the collapse of society, I mean more like getting hurt at work or getting into a car accident. Your everyday emergencies that you may not be prepared for. So, with that, here's my lunchbox. Yay. Now, why my lunchbox? Well, it's clearly oversized, and the upper half of it is mostly for storage. In terms of emergency stuff, here is my homemade first aid kit. Now, I have that because, well, contractors in construction, they may be required to provide a first aid kit, but theirs is usually, band-aids and stuff. And some eye wash, because that's the minimum OSHA requires. I feel like in construction, you can sustain a more severe injury than you can fix with a band-aid, so I have some materials I'm used to working with from my time in the Coast Guard. Now, this is just a case I ordered and then filled with my own stuff. Front pouch. This is a rescue breathing bib. Obviously, mouth to mouth is not something they teach anymore. You use a bib or a rescue breathing mask. Full mask takes up a lot of space. Bib is good enough for me. And a little bit of, antiseptic store brand stuff. On this side, your regular band-aids here. And over here, I have a couple of Mylar emergency blankets, golden color, good for signaling in emergencies. Now for some of the more extreme stuff. These are just Tegaderm patches, but they're store brand. They work great. Excuse me. You can use them over a small gauze piece. But these, the triangle bandages, I actually haven't seen them. Like in the last 12 years that I've been a civilian, I've never seen those in a first aid kit, even a more extensive one. But the triangle bandages, they're your go-to for everything. If you run out of rolls of gauze, you use a triangle bandage. You need to make a sling for someone's arm, triangle bandage. Need to splint a broken bone, triangle bandage. Makeshift stretcher, use the triangle bandage to lash a couple of pipes together or pieces of wood or whatever. If you need to make a tourniquet, God forbid, use a triangle bandage. They're extremely handy like that. And there's plenty of videos that you can access online that will show you how to use them. And now in this area, this is, more of the wound-based stuff. I've got a couple of rolls of gauze in there. I've got some butterfly stitches, not that they're the greatest thing in the world. I've got several rolls of medical tape. I've got gauze pads, anywhere from the 2x2 to the 2x3 to the larger, they're the 4x4 in the back. And, like I said, this is a small thing. It fits in my lunchbox. And it weighs very, very little. And, like I said, I'm in construction. People get hurt. Sometimes, not often, it's severe. And it's more often than, people usually get hurt, in their house. So, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra emergency stuff in case someone gets hurt in a more severe manner and a band-aid's not going to cut it. Now, the last part of that isn't in there is something that, I can have swatches, but the little single wrap pieces, but at this point, COVID times, I have an entire thing of antibacterial alcohol wipes to clean off an area. So, I find that a lot more convenient than tiny little 1-inch pieces of cloth that dry out in a second. But finally, you need a cutting object. Now, this is the knife I carry daily, usually at work and at home. It is just a very simple and very small Leatherman Free T2. It's a two-hand operation. You can't flip it out with one hand, which is fine. It's only got, the knife and a couple of screwdrivers and maybe a can opener. There's no pliers or anything on it. I tied the orange lanyard to it because I dropped it once and couldn't find it. And now, if I drop it, I can easily see it with my lanyard. I made the sheath myself, and I keep a stone there, so I sharpen it frequently. Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice to get that skill down, but totally worth it. So there you go. There's an idea that you can have handy, ready to go for yourself and your coworkers in the event that, an emergency happens, which from time to time it does. Have a good day.